Okay, it's Double H here, Double H Half for this special preview of Iron Man 2. So basically, this is the week that Iron Man comes out, and people have obviously been talking about yeah, just like my little timer here. People have obviously been preaching about this. This is the sequel to obviously the very successful Iron Man 1. This has Mickey Rock coming back, Don Cheadle taking over Terrence Howard, and a lot of things, and it's expected to do really big things based on how well the first one did. And basically, for me, for this preview, I just want to just give you my thoughts on Iron Man, from the trailer. You see, I already mentioned this on the boards before already. I have no allegiance to any property, to no film. Batman, Morality, I have no allegiance to anything. Show me what you have. Show me the money, aka show me what you're selling, show me what you're coming with. And that is obviously done through the trailer, I remember seeing that Iron Man 1 trailer, and I don't know who you are, when you saw that Stan Winston suit, and you just saw, him rise, and you just saw like the white eyes, and you saw the suit, I was like, man, that looks crazy. And the whole vibe of everything, looking at it, because when I saw that Iron Man 1 trailer, I thought, okay, there's a bit of comedy in here, but I think maybe this will be a balance of comedy and this being serious, But obviously when I saw the film was still good and everything, but they obviously went the comedic route, and I think this is where I have the problem with Iron Man. Because obviously, in the sequel, looking at the trailer, they've obviously seen that the comedy and the spontaneous humor and the improvisation that Danny Jr. brings to the table, it was obviously the winning formula. So hence, looking at the trailer, it's a lot more of a gag fest. There's a lot more comedy in there, and obviously this is Danny Jr. going to town even more. And looking at it, I'm like, judging from that trailer, why would I want to go and see this? The bits with all the Iron Man, it just looks a bit too much. The CG looks a bit too much. I'm sorry, the whole Scarlett Johansson thing, with the whole Black Widow thing. Okay, look, I don't really know much about the character, but I just feel like okay, does this really work? And this is why I've said this many times. There's the comic book movie, and there are films based on comic books. Personally, for me, I prefer films based on comic books, not comic book movies. It's very rare you see a good comic book movie. Sin City was probably the best comic book. That's the funny thing, because Funbob actually made this point, and I actually agree. Sin City is probably the best comic book movie that has ever been made. Sin City. Now, the best film based on a comic book, I will have to say it's pretty much Superman 1. Really, at the end of the day, of a film based on a comic book. And I think, looking at Iron Man, and from my knowledge of what Iron Man is about and everything, I just don't understand the route that they've taken with this, Because with Iron Man 1, I was like, even because I heard that there was no script. That once they were running into issues everywhere, Danny Jr. actually said he just threw away the script, and it was literally all improv. And this actually scared Jeff Bridges, because Jeff Bridges, quality actor, he's used to having a script. So when it was all improv, he freaked out, And I'm saying that, look, man, it's irresponsible. I don't want to watch a whole film that's just improv. Okay, we're not like in acting school here. And really, for me, I feel that Iron Man, as a story, as a concept, deserves a proper script. Deserves someone to take time to actually write something of quality. It deserves more than just Downey Jr. being a Downey Jr. And with this Iron Man 2 thing, it was like, look, I've told you what I thought about this whole Terrence Howard thing. It's bad casting. No matter where you look at the whole thing, it is bad casting. The casting just doesn't work. Let me just put it to you very, very simply. Going back to Iron Man 1, the dynamic worked. I'll tell you why the dynamic worked. Danny Jr., obviously, he's obviously in his 40s. He's a lot older and everything. And He's obviously was, quite funny, quite out there, but he's obviously the older variety. And it was interesting because Terrence Howard is obviously younger, but he's a lot more mellow. But he's still the young guy. But it was interesting because normally you'd think the older guy is more mellow and the younger guy is a lot more wild. But what was interesting about their relationship was that Terrence Howard was basically playing daddy to Danny Jr., whereas Danny Jr. is actually older than him. And I just felt that the vibe that Terrence Howard was given, and also that whole, damn, next time, baby. When he said that, I was like, boom, I'm in. If Terrence Howard is War Machine in this film, I'm in there first week. First weekend, I am in there. No doubt. I'm in there first weekend. Because it's like, for this War Machine, you need a guy who's young, who's up and coming, who can give it some energy, some zest, some of that X factor. Now, I look at the TV spots, I look at the trailer, and looking at Don Cheadle, don't get it wrong. Do not get it wrong. Do not get it wrong. Don Cheadle is a quality actor. Go watch Hotel Rwanda. Go watch what's it called? Oh my gosh, damn. Basically the drug movie that won Best Picture. I mean, it's at the top of my head. It's basically won Best Picture over Gladiator, which with Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's about drugs. Benicio del Toro won Best Supporting Actor in the film. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember the film. But basically, he was great in that. Don Cheadle is a quality actor. He's a quality actor. But he's a quality dramatic actor. That's the thing. He's a quality dramatic actor. What he does well. And I feel there's just things that he doesn't do well. And look, I may be proven wrong when this film comes out, but judging from what I know of Don Cheadle, judging from the trailers and the TV spots, it's literally like night and day. And like the difference between Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard is like, because it changes so much, because for me, the dynamic works so well in Iron Man 1, and now going to Iron Man 2, it's like, Don Cheadle, you're too serious. Look, I mean, you're supposed to be fun, this is War Machine, but it's just too serious. Now, if we switched it up and we had Don Cheadle from the beginning, maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, no, this doesn't work. But if we had it from the beginning, maybe it would have been a bit better. Who knows, maybe I would have warmed to him and said, okay, this is what War Machine is. But since Iron Man 1 came out, in my head, the movie War Machine is Terrence Howard. So to bring something in, like from a sequel, it's going to be very hard to switch it up. So that's that issue there. That's that issue there. Going back to this thing, to Iron Man. So, look, man. I mean, what's obviously Marvel taking the reins of their own properties? Their powers in their hands. Kevin Feige or Feige or whatever his name is. Obviously, I think it's good and everything what they're doing, but guys should basically just understand this. The film world is not the comic book world. And I think from looking at this trailer of Iron Man 2, I think this is what is getting people a bit confused. You know what I think about TDK. I don't like TDK. But still, Christopher Nolan is a very sensible man. He's a man who is always thinking. And now, the difference between Nolan